Good morning. We will call the September 3rd, 2024 City Council meeting to order. If you would, please rise. I have Councilmember Richard Donnell leads our invocation and pledge.
Thank you. Years ago, for those of you who are believers in the Christian faith, Jesus gave instructions to the disciples and others about how to pray. And today I adopt those words that Jesus gave as my own in the prayer, and I ask that you would listen and take heed to this prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Let us all together say, Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We get the roll call, and Markeisha, you'll see that we have 6 council members present. We have 2 out with illness and 1 out taking care of a sick parent. Your council members Busby and Wallace both out sick, and Councilmember McMean is taking care of his dad. And approval of minutes from the August 6, 2024 council meeting. Those minutes were sent out to the council. If there be no additions or corrections, they stand approved as read. We have a couple of presentations this morning. If our new youth council members will join me up here, I'll line up across the front. There we go. All right, I'm going to call your names. You can step forward or raise your hand just as an identifier. We have Maria Eddington, Jackson Central Mary High School. Tanisha Sorker, Jackson Christian. Jadelle Ross, JCM Early College High. Kyra Williams from JCM Early College High. May Borden from JCM Early College High. Peter Snowden from Madison Academic. Heidi El Said, from Madison Academic. Andy Galindo from Northside. Kylie Yarbrough from Southside. Max Richardson from Trinity Christian Academy. Edie Allen from Trinity Christian Academy. Jack Morris from University School of Jackson. And Taylor Prince from the University School of Jackson. All right, now we're going to do an oath to swear into the youth council. You're going to raise your right hand and say aye and state your name. Say aye and then state your name. And you're going to repeat after me. Do solemnly swear that I will perform and discharge the duties placed upon me as a member of the Mayor's Youth Council fairly and honestly and to the best of my skill and ability. Congratulations, guys. Look forward to working with you. So these juniors here will be joining a class of seniors in the back, and they get an opportunity. They meet once a month. They work on projects. They get to hear from various departments throughout the city to learn how city government works, and really gets them involved in that civic engagement early on, and got some great ideas that come from the group, and we look forward to working with this new group. All right, next up, we have an annual report from the Financial Empowerment Center. as y'all introduce yourselves for the council's sake.
Yep. Make sure that we got that. Yeah, okay, great. Good morning, council.
Good
My
morning.
name is Tyler Carr. I'm the director of the Office of Financial Empowerment here for the City of Jackson. I'm joined by Jordan Howerton, who is the regional director of the Greater Jackson Financial Empowerment Center. A couple moments here with you this morning to share about the good and faithful work of the Financial Empowerment Center. I also want to share a little bit about myself and some of the different roles that Jordan and I have in our respective places. And so I have the joy of doing a lot of the broader programmatic work for financial empowerment for the City of Jackson. I'm kind of neck deep right now actually in program development for a few things that will hopefully have some pretty distinct impact for our citizens. One of the things out of our office that the city has partnered with United Way to do is the Financial Empowerment Center. And so just as a reminder, what this is it's professional financial counseling that we offer for free. It's actually the work that I come from before this role, and so my heart is connected pretty closely to it, getting to see direct impact for families and seeing upward mobility and generational change for a lot of the folks we worked with. I want to thank you, Mayor, and I want to thank you, Council. Mayor had the foresight for a program need like this in our area. A lot of our social services do a lot of phenomenal work, but one of the areas of lack was just the financial component. A lot of families struggle to meet their basic needs, and a lot of that has to do with just, a plethora of things, one of which would be financial literacy, financial access, mobility, and a lot of different things that we do to work on. And so thank you, Mayor, for that, and also thank you, Council, because your ongoing support through doing things like passing budgets and being willing to be fiscally responsible and help the Financial Empowerment Center press forward with the work that they're doing. A lot of the impact that we're going to go over today is in direct correlation with your choices as council members, and so thank you. I have a kind of a silly thing that I've done. The annual report in front of you is actually a couple months older than the current stats, and so Jordan is going to be presenting on the current stats, and then we'll put out on our website the current report. The meat of what you have in front of you is essentially the same, but some of the numbers and the impact that he's going to share will actually be better than what you see in front of you. So I didn't do that for dramatic impact for you all, but it just kind of is what it is. So no further ado, I'm going to pass it off to Jordan.
Yeah, and as Tyler was saying, I just want to echo his thanks for your support. 48% of West Tennesseans, according to Alice Research, struggle to make ends meet. So for many of them, something as seemingly simple as a flat tire is actually a financial emergency that sends them into a negative spiral that's pretty difficult to climb out of. And so because of your support of our program, we're able to provide support to community members and in many cases turn this negative spiral into a positive one. And so many of our clients who come in to see us, they come in from a place of deficit and a place of emergency and crisis, and actually come out on the other side from a place of financial health and stability because of this one-on-one financial counseling. And so I am going to share with you guys just a few of the highlights from this year. And I'm going to start actually, before we look at any of the numbers, I want to start with just a few of the larger initiatives we've been able to kind of make happen this year. So the first one is we were able, through the United Way and our partnership we have with a program they're running to support child care centers across the region, we were able to secure a DHS grant that is going to supply almost 50% of our salaries for the next 2 years, all of our benefits, and all of our continued training. And so this is a multi-million-dollar grant of which we were receiving a portion of. But it's honestly due to the work that we've already been able to show and the fact that there really isn't another support like this in West Tennessee. This is a singularly unique program that the state is recognizing has a unique value, and so they're choosing to invest money in it. And so that's the DHS grant that we've received. We've also launched our first expansion this year into Brownsville. And so we, through a partnership with the city of Brownsville and Ford Philanthropy, and then empowered also by this DHS grant, we were able to fully fund a separate branch in Brownsville that's now supporting Hardeman, Haywood, and Crockett counties. And so we're not the only ones, and DHS isn't the only one seeing the benefit of the work we're doing. Other cities in our region are seeing this benefit. Other entities like Ford are seeing the benefit of this, and so they've chosen to invest in opening up a satellite office there in Brownsville. That we're really excited. We've been there for about 6 months, and we're beginning to see some traction, and we're eager to see what the next year holds. And then the last big thing that we're really excited about right now is with Tyler making his shift over here to the Office of Financial Empowerment. We actually had to hire a new counselor. And so we were able to hire Miss Eva Lopez, who has a number of years' experience working in our community with the police department. But she is our first bilingual counselor. And so with her addition to our team, we're now able to serve Spanish-speaking residents in a way we weren't previously able to. And so we're excited about the opportunities this opens up for us and the ability to serve our community. Looking back at year 2, so just a few of the stats, and as Tyler mentioned, the stats you guys have in front of you are from first draft of this. I think these are the more official ones. We were able to, this year, serve 138 clients over about 417 sessions. The average credit improvement a client sees with us if they seek to work on credit is about 50 points. So 50 points is the difference between a loan or not a loan, a good loan or a bad loan, going to a predatory lender or a established financial institution. 50 points is significant. And so because of that, we've been able to see several of our clients actually make wise, healthy financial decisions. We've also seen a cumulative debt reduction of $320,000 this year, cumulative savings increase of $67,000. And really, right now, at the lifetime of our program, we're actually hitting the $750,000 mark for net gain we've seen for our clients. Between the debt they've reduced and the savings they've increased, we're at $750,000, which means that on average, one of our clients will see about a $2,000 reduction in their debt and a $1,000 increase in their savings. Now, none of this mentions the numerous intangible benefits and impact that people see through these services. The money management skills that allow them to stay out of debt and then increase their savings over their lifetime. The ability to navigate the credit system and maintain healthy credit. The repaired relationships with financial institutions that offer them safe and affordable services. And then the generational impact as money skills and money habits are passed down to children and grandchildren. These are things that are much more difficult to measure, but their impact that we're seeing nonetheless. And let me just zoom in for just one moment with you and tell you a quick story. One of our most successful partnerships is actually with the City of Jackson Recovery Court. We have a partnership with them where every one of their clients is required to see us for at least one session to see if this service would benefit them in the ways that we anticipate it will. And 90% of the time, that one session turns into many sessions. And recently, one of their clients who's been working with us for a little while, Orlando, graduated from the City of Jackson Recovery Court. During his time in that program, he was able to gain confidence in his money management skills, learned how to navigate the credit system, and increased his credit over 100 points. Now, oftentimes when we have a partnership like this that somebody's working with us on, we give them the option at the end and say, hey man, you've hit your goal, you've done what you intended to do. Would you like to continue going, or would you like to, you don't have to. And sometimes people are like, yeah, no, I don't. I think I've done what I wanted to do, what I set out to do. But in several cases, and Orlando's being one of them, they get to the end, they've seen such success with what's happened, they say, no, I've got more goals. I've got new things. I want to go higher and farther and faster. And so Orlando is one of those cases where not only were we able to see them through the success of another program, but on the other side of that, see them have new financial dreams and goals that they're going to aim for and achieve. And so this is, again, all done with y'all's support, and we're very thankful for that.
Mayor, Council, do you have any questions?
I have a comment that I want to make. I think this is a very needed program, and it's doing wonders. Mr. Carr came and spoke to the Southwest District of the CME Church and presented to them, and it was well taken. And in fact, they still talk about that. So this is a good program. What I want to know, though, and it really struck me when you said that some people who have a flat tire, that the cost of fixing it may cause a hardship on them. And I would like for you all, and you may already be doing this, is to share that with creditors and lenders so that you could sensitize them to the fact that some people just have a hard time. And these are people who are working, but they have a hard time. And if you could do that and share that with them, landlords, all those persons who are out there who receive money from people who just don't have it and they're doing their best. If you would do that and share that with them, I really would appreciate that. There was an exercise that I know that UT Extension Agency did, and I don't know the name of it, but it was some type of exercise where they would give people in a room a set of facts. You know, they would be working, had children, made this amount of money, but emergencies would come up and they had to figure out how they would do it. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Poverty simulation.
What is it?
Poverty simulation.
Okay, poverty simulation. And that's a good exercise to share with creditors, to just let them know that people are trying. They have to make hard decisions in order to live. And if you would just share that with them, and you may already be doing it, I would really appreciate that, and I think it would be a very good thing for you to do. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for that feedback.
Any other comments? Yes,
I agree, excellent program, well needed. I've sent 2 people. One was successful, one wasn't. But would you go over the funding once again on the 50% the DAH is paying? Is he paying all for Brownsville? Just,
DHS, yeah.
you, okay.
Yeah, actually, this is timely because I believe next month the council will vote to pass the budget for the year. And one of the things we've agreed to do is to do a one-time payment to United Way for the sum of $150,000, which is what we've agreed to do. We've actually backed down the amount, and then we've established a consistent amount for this year, and hopefully the years to come of $150,000. Jordan might be able to speak to this a little bit more specifically, but my understanding is that none of that money is used outside of the city of Jackson. So all that, of course, we're keeping at the hub of the program. And as Jordan shared, any of the programmatic expansions, for instance, Brownsville is being covered by the city of Brownsville, the Ford Philanthropy, and I think the DHS grant we mentioned. But do you want to speak to that, the 150?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're exactly right. All of our funding for the Brownsville expansion is by the city of Brownsville, Ford Philanthropy, and the DHS grant. DHS is, for the next 2 years, going to cover 50% of all of our counselors' salaries, as well as benefits and training expenses. And
So what's left for the city's portion?
the city's portion gets mixed in with the DHS funds here in Jackson. I mean, so the city's portion is going to go towards the other parts of our salaries, some of our technical costs, rent, utilities, things like that.
And so how much dollars is that?
I mean, that's the $150,000.
Oh, that is, so it's only 150 covers everything.
No, so 150 is going to cover. I'm trying to think back on my spreadsheet for a second. Give me just a moment. So 150 is going to cover most things. I think it's going to cover about 70% of Brownsville. Or not Brownsville, I'm sorry, of the Jackson office. And that 30% is going to come from that DHS grant to cover salaries and whatnot. So,
Okay, I'll give
I
it.
think
Yeah, I- you know,
they're
I-
going to present the budget next month, so.
yeah, I've got it, and
that'd
I
be
got a
negotiation,
copy of the
yeah.
budget we can
Will,
distribute.
thank you.
Any other comments or questions from council? All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the list is public comment. We had no one sign up. So we get to first reading. Item 1 is proposed budget amendment, JPD Drug Fund, the amount of $30,000 for helicopter paint.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As the mayor described, this is a proposed budget amendment for the police department drug fund. If approved, this $30,000 would go toward painting one of the JPD helicopters. That's the purpose of it. I think everyone's familiar with the fact that the drug fund, the Jackson Police Department drug fund, the use of those funds are restricted to JPD activities. So this would come from the reserve funds that are in that fund, so.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion from council?
Yeah, it costs $30,000 to paint it.
Apparently. Yeah, I do know, that they did get bids and proposals, and that's, oh, okay. Help on the way, so, yeah.
To answer the question, it actually costs more than $30,000 to paint that helicopter. So, just to give you some background, our helicopters are military surplus helicopters that are donated to us. They're in value in excess of $2 million apiece. This helicopter was given to us a few years ago. We've been working on it to get it, make sure it's airworthy. From a maintenance perspective, all of those costs were no cost to us. We have mechanics on staff so we don't pay any labor for that. So when the helicopter is ready to be painted, it's more of a safety issue than a painting issue. That helicopter is stripped, because that helicopter is years old from the military, so it is completely stripped down. It's looking for cracks in the fuselage, it's looking for corrosion, it's looking for rust. Those things are all primered, repurposed, redone, and then painted. So it's not really for the appearance value, it's for the safety value and the airworthiness of the aircraft.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions from council? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 2 is consideration of an ordinance to rezone property located at Sand Pebble Drive and Palms Pew Drive from SC1 Plan Unit Commercial Development District to B5 Highway Business District comprising of 6.15 acres more or less.
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Good morning.
You have the materials pertinent to this rezoning request, and the Planning Commission has recommended it to you. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
So moved.
All right, have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion from council? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
All right, item 3 is consideration of an ordinance to close and abandon an unnamed alley located between 624 and 706 Lambeth Boulevard.
You have the materials pertinent to this alley closure and abandonment. This alley is located near a lot 706 Lambeth, which CRA owns, and we'll be building a new home on that lot. Beside this to the south is a house that has a driveway that's basically in the alley. So the only thing there in terms of improvement is the driveway. So once this is abandoned and closed and abandoned, we will deed over our half to this individual so that they have their driveway completely within their property.
All right, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion from council? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
All right, move on to second reading. Thank you, Stan. Item 1 is proposed budget amendment from JPD Insurance Recovery in the amount of $10,344.32.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Item 2 is consideration of a plan of service, proposed annexation and zoning for an area referred to as Bible Number 2 area comprising of 3.167 acres more or less, located at the 1320 block of Ashport Road. The proposed zoning is RS2 PRD, Single Family Residential Plan Residential Development District.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Item 3 is consideration of an ordinance to close and abandon the eastern 20-foot strip of Congress Street between Allen Avenue and East King Street.
So moved.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Item 4 is consideration of an ordinance to close and abandon a portion of West College Street between North Highland Avenue and North Shannon Street.
So moved.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 5-1 abstain.
No, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Motion passed 6-0.
All right, move on to new business. Item 1, consideration of a street acceptance request for Walnut Trace North, Section 20.
And
So-
again, as always, I was just going to tell you that this does meet all of our standards and has been inspected and is ready for your acceptance.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Item 2 is consideration of a resolution authorizing fees for electronic citations. Get your checkbook out, Councilmember Hope.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. This is, you know, that we now use e-citations to write traffic tickets. Statutorily, the court can charge $5 more onto that ticket, and we can get part of those proceeds back to supplement our equipment, training, computer systems, add more e-citation modules, stuff like that. That's what this is for.
Any questions from council? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Excuse me, let me ask you one question though. Would this just go only for traffic citations or any other citations as well?
Just traffic citations where they are found guilty.
All right,
That's what
okay.
it's for.
Thank you.
Item 3 is consideration of a contract with West Tennessee Coffee Service for city coffee services.
Motion.
You have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Item 4 is consideration of a contract with Max Guard Incorporated for city guard services.
So moved.
You have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I need some information on this. I apologize for being unable to be at the pre-agenda, so would you go into detail with me about that, please?
Sure. Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Good morning.
These are just guard services for various parks around the city. I think they're listed in here, the different areas. These are both armed, unarmed services with, without vehicle. And in your package, you'll see the rates for those services.
Tony, you want to discuss what we're using for?
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Good morning.
Max Guard is a great attribute for us. They close our parks. Now, we have employees that open them, but in order to get people out of the park, you need some kind of authority figure. So Max Guard patrols and closes our parks at the hours they're closed, at 10 p.m. They do all of our parks that have gates, and they lock the restrooms, check the restrooms. They do special events like when we have movies in the park and those type things.
Okay, so this is for the parks as well as various locations, including Fairgrounds, Civic Center, and NED, and all those other locations?
Correct.
So it's not just for the parks
Right.
only, city, okay.
But it's a bulk of what they do is with the park.
All right.
But they are for other facilities also.
Okay, did anybody else bid on this?
Max Guard was the only one that bid on this one.
Okay.
But we gave it out to many other people that request that service. They're the only one that bid for us.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, any other questions? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Thank you. Item 5 is consideration of a contract with Perry Weather for a weather safety system at the Sportsplex.
Motion.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to hear
Okay.
say something.
Morning, Mayor and Council.
Morning.
Yes, sir. One of the things that, as the increased usage of teams and people at the Sportsplex continues to increase, first and foremost on all of our minds is safety. And safety goes along with weather. One of the things right now, when we have a thunderstorm or any type of weather approaching, we are having just to set and watch radar on our phones, looking at lightning strikes, and seeing when they get within range to then have to manually go through 70 acres of the complex and clear the fields. We talked with Perry Weather and also with ThorGuard and Earth Network Systems about having an automatic system, so lightning gets it within 10 miles of the complex. There's sirens and strobes that go off that automatically everyone knows it's time to clear the field, clear the complex. A 30-minute countdown will then, on a widget within our website, start, so parents can go to our website and immediately know when it's clear. If another strike happens, it restarts the clock. And no longer are we sitting there with our heads on our phones trying to figure out what's going on. We're actually able to clear the complex and keep everybody as safe as possible. It also is a weather system, a weather station, so we have our own station at the Sportsplex for wind, heat, temperature, heat index, rain amounts, all of those good things. This is actually for a 5-year contract with Perry Weather. The money for the contract is already budgeted. As I started this conversation with Perry Weather back in May, so I was able to put it in my budget for this year. The other quotes, I did go to Thorgard and I went to Earth Networks. They both need significant capital investments up front. So over a 5-year period, the contract for Perry Weather will be just at $19,000 total with no capital. It's just a contract that they provide all the stuff for us. With Thorgard, it would be over $37,000 for the same time period, and then with Earth Networks, it's over $31,000 for the same time period.
If you cancel a game or you stop a game because of the weather, your information you get from this monitoring system, how's that information given to the public? They have to do something to get it, or do you?
There will be sirens. There's an actual unit that will be placed that when that lightning strike hits, you will be able to hear it through the entire complex, as this unit will be mounted in Complex C, and then there's a strobe going off. You can then go to our website where there will be a widget that will have all the information on there. But then once it's all clear, there's another siren that goes off and says we're ready to roll.
Okay, how does the public know to go to that widget, though? How do we give them information?
Oh, we will have that. That will be explained in all of our communications with our teams up front. All that information will be in our email letters, and then it'll be within our screens and stuff. We have vertical screens at every complex that give various information throughout tournaments, and that information will be there as well. All right. But the biggest thing for us is the automatic notification, and that you're going to be able to hear that siren throughout the entire complex, and that's time for all of our umpires will know at that moment we stop the game and we clear the complex.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Any additional questions? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 6 is consideration of a resolution approving the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, 2023-2024.
Motion.
You have a motion?
Second.
And a second? Any further discussion, questions from council? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Keep walking up, I guess. Item 7, consideration of a resolution approving analysis of impediments to fair housing choice 2024.
Motion.
You have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion from council? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
All right, consideration of committee and board appointments. Jackson Energy Authority Board, the appointment of Darlette Samuels to fill the unexpired term of Logan Hampton.
So move.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Jackson Board of Zoning Appeals, reappointment of Mike Singleton.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
Jackson Community Redevelopment Agency, reappointment of Johnny Dodd.
Maybe.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 5-1 abstain.
Item 9 is budget amendments less than 10,000. Item 10 is consideration of invoices over 10,000.
So move.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Council, please vote.
Motion passed 6-0.
No further business. The meeting is adjourned.